So we talked to 1,000 B2B companies, all sizes, about what they were doing with content marketing, and the definition was the one that I gave you. Do you use content to attract and retain customers as part of your marketing process? So what we found out is that 9 out of 10, so we're all publishers now. Everybody's doing this. This is not new. We're all publishers. We're all doing this. Even the smallest of companies are doing it. And I always call this why is this happening? We're in the perfect storm of content. Content is the center of social media. It is the basis for search engine optimization, and it is the core of lead generation. And these are the 3 biggest drivers within marketing over the past 5 years. None of this can exist without lots of really good content at the right time, really good quality content in different formats, in multiple channels. So this is why we're seeing all this today. Just from a percentage allocation, 26% of budgets in total go to the creation and distribution of content. So that's 1 out of every $4. 21% in large companies, 34% in small companies. So you can just get an idea. And of course, I hope that makes sense to you, because big companies are spending a lot more on paid media, and small companies don't. Actually, I was surprised that wasn't further apart. 51% are increasing their budget over the next 12 months. 2% are decreasing, so a lot of money is going in this direction. From a tactical standpoint, who's doing what? So 8 out of 10 are leveraging social media as part of the content process. 80% posting articles, so 62% in-person events, e-newsletters, there's your blog number, 51% blogs, white papers, webinars, print, look at that, print magazines, 42%. Still big, especially for B2B. Long sales cycles, very important. Print is not dead. Print is very, very much alive, but it needs to be integrated with your online. That's the difference there. You don't just launch a print magazine anymore. It's an integrated part of your content strategy. This is probably the most compelling piece of information that we got from it. We called it the confidence gap. So let's just go to the top, and then you can kind of see how the results pan out. So of the people using social media, 70% feel that they're doing so ineffectively. 30% feel that they're actually using it effectively. So if you go down, blogs, same way. 60% are using it, feel that they are ineffective with it. 40% feel that they are effective with it. By the way, this was consistent across all sizes of companies. Now, let's just take a common sense approach that these are the things at the top are newer. They require new skill sets. There are wavering forms of measurement. Or people don't know how to yet measure it. They don't know how to integrate it. They don't have good marketing objectives for it. They just jump into social, I'm sure you see it every day. They just jump into social media and then realize, oh man, I don't have anything good to say. So they've just added themselves into a conversation that they have no point, that they shouldn't even be involved in. So white papers 50-50. Now this is really, so look at in-person events, right? Been doing in-person events for a long time. Know how to do it. There's processes for how to do it. There's clear measurement on how to do it. So most people that do that know what they're doing. They feel that they're effective at it. Plus, it costs a boatload of money to do an in-person event. So if they're not effective at it, I wonder what these 28% are doing. They probably are gone. So I don't know if you have any questions about that, but we thought, oh wow, so we're all publishers now. We're all media companies now. And you were talking about clutter, Rick. It's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of really bad content going on, which means all you content strategists and content marketers in the world, there's a huge opportunity right now, because you have companies that need major help and they don't know where to go. So that's why we're seeing this industry grow like crazy. Everyone that I was talking to Mike Wolby about this, everyone I've talked to in this industry is going gangbusters with business right now, because you have a lot of really confused brands that need help. And a lot of that help is, how do we create a strategy that we can actually execute? Don't give me pie in the sky strategy. Give me something we can actually do with the budget we have. So, good question.
This is a simple question. Yeah. What do you define as article posting? I was trying to figure out how that's different.
Yeah, actually, do you know Brian Clark from Copy Blogger? He asked me that same question. He said, Article posting, how do you differentiate article posting and blogs? And the way it is, there's a number of B2B companies that actually have article repositories and resource centers that are not point of view blog posts. That's the differentiation there.
Right, so it's like where it's almost curated content for industry X, Y, or Z.
It could be curated, or it could be, we just create ongoing articles and we put them on the site, or we post them to an off-site bookmark. So that, I just thought this was really compelling. And what'll be really interesting, because this is a benchmark report, be fascinating for next year, is we did. And by the way, we're working on the consumer side for the next one. So Ann and I were talking about that today. So it'd be really interesting to align up B2C and B2B, and then we'll do this again for B2B. So just trying to get clarity into this thing, because of course it's been around for over 100 years, but it's a new skill set for most marketers. I mean, nobody told marketers that when we were going and getting our marketing degree that we had to be journalists too. And here we are. Most of the companies we're talking to are hiring journalists as part of their marketing department.
They didn't say that at J school either. They didn't say, oh, by the way, 15 years you're going to be marketing.
Well, you're right. I'm actually, like Medill School of Journalism, and they've been talking about some of these concepts, but you're right, they mostly don't. I've talked to a couple universities in the Cleveland area, and I come up with this concept, and it's they're talking about it, but it's outside the journalism program. This is, if your goal is to create jobs for journalists, this is it.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Because you're not going to be chief editor of the Wall Street Journal. It's only one.
Right.
All the rest of the jobs, you're going to be chief content officer for a brand. You're going to be owning whatever the title is, director of content marketing, content strategist. You're the owner of the content.
Well,
that's where the
there's a really
opportunity
interesting
is.
discussion going on about SEO and journalists, like how journalists need to learn SEO to optimize headlines. So I was a copy editor in my past life at the Globe, and so that was like something that you never would think of ever. Like, gee, if the story is about a robbery, is robbery in the headline? So it's just, it's totally.
Well, and the other thing is, because we work with a lot of publishing companies, is that let's go back to 2000. So the strategy for 2000 is you create a print article, and then the print article goes online as is, no changes. But now we have a process where you have a print version and an electronic version that are very different, especially the headline. So nobody said, oh, I gotta create 2 headlines, one for this. Oh, do I have to create 3 headlines, one for 2? I have to do another one for Facebook? Oh, yes, you do. You have to do all that stuff. And plus, when I go send you out on that article, I want the Q&A. I want you to record that one. I want you to tweet that you're going out there. I want you to create 13 pieces of content from that article on the way there and the way back and the story, and I want 5 different versions of it. So the journalist's job is a little bit more challenging today.
Well, but yes and no. I think what needs to happen is they need to go back to the concept of a beat reporter. Like, this in and out.
Yep.
So this is what you do. It makes it easy to talk about it all the time. If you're a general assignment reporter, or if you're a general feature writer, forget it. You're reinventing the wheel every single time.
No, that's why you focus on that niche, and that's where the opportunity is. Yeah. Somebody have a question?
I was just going to say that ESPN.com actually does a good job. If you go to look at an article, they'll have like your little editorial headline that's like, the cute editorial headline. And if you look at the title bar, you'll see like, Patriots running back so-and-so on disabled list with injury. And then the cute headline would be like, so-and-so's gone or whatever. So you get that editorial thing as a reader, but then they do a good job at in the title. They have the headline that has all the words.
And we
that
still
they
struggle
need.
with that too. We had one the other day, and I was asking our editor, I'm like, who would search for that? It was the cute headline that they had that should have been in the subpart and not in the title if we're going to optimize it. So. All right, so ending up here, and we asked them their biggest content marketing challenge. So, number 1 on the board, producing engaging content. 21%, to your point about quantity, producing enough content, and then the budget. These go kind of hand in hand. Very important, although it's only 4th, is C-level buy-in. That's where we see a lot of this get stuck. Because if you really are committed to this content marketing strategy, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And the C-suite has they don't have a lot of patience there. So you got to make sure they understand what we're trying to do. And then this is the last one. We looked at the difference between those people that self-selected, they're most effective, they are effective at content marketing versus those ineffective, and these are the differences between those two groups. Most effective, spend more money, 30% to 18% on content marketing. They segment. By the way, only 32% actually segment their content to different buyer personas. They're more likely, most effective, more likely to segment, 37 to 23%, and then they have much more C-level buy-in than those are ineffective. Yes?
What's the metric of effectiveness?
It's self-selection. If they say that they were, so basically it was 4s and 5s versus 1 and 2s. All right. Ta-da!